Special Counsel Jack Smith is urging a federal appeals court to reinstate the criminal case charging Trump with concealing classified documents and obstructing a federal investigation. Here's One America's Daniel Baldwin with more.
A Hail Mary from Special Counsel Jack Smith, if you will. The Special Counsel has appealed District Court Judge Aileen Cannon's decision to dismiss the Trump classified documents case. Cannon ruled that the appointment of Smith was unconstitutional. Paul Kamenar of the National Legal and Policy Center says Smith will likely struggle to make his case in the appeal.
What they're trying to do is say, look, sure, there's no statute that says we could appoint a special counsel, but if you squint your eyes and look at these other four statutes, they kind of sort of say we can do this. Well, Judge Aileen Cannon said, look, you got to have a clear authority. None of this, looking through rose-colored glasses at these statutes. And so their main argument is that, look, Merrick Garland and Jack Smith says, the Supreme Court already ruled on this. And that was the Nixon case some years ago, which upheld the appointment of a special counsel way back then. But the point is, the court never addressed the issue. It was not briefed. It was not argued. And so in legal parlance, we call that dicta, meaning it's not a real holding. So you don't have to take that scrap of decision there and say, Jack Smith can't be appointed this way. So that's the issue before the 11th Circuit. 11th Circuit might say, well, the Supreme Court in the Nixon case, that is precedent, and so we're going to reverse Judge Cannon. But, I think they have, Jack Smith does have a hard argument to make. And now here's the thing about that. Even if the court were to rule that, Aileen Cannon, you're wrong, there is statutory authority to appoint Jack Smith, there's a whole other issue. And that is, well, is he a principal officer or an inferior officer? The government says he's an inferior officer where Merrick Garland can appoint him. But the other side is saying, no, he's a principal officer, that he has to be appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. The bottom line is, even if they lose in the 11th Circuit, it ain't over. They could either go to the Supreme Court and look at that, or go back to Aileen Cannon and say, okay, let's drop the other shoe. Is he a principal officer?
Meanwhile, Attorney General Merrick Garland sternly disagreed with Cannon's ruling to dismiss, saying he would have certainly not made such an obvious law misstep.
For more than 20 years, I was a federal judge. Do I look like somebody who would make that basic mistake about the law?
Kamenar, by his measure, disagrees.
Yeah, you do look like you'd make a basic mistake to the law, Merrick Garland.
In terms of timing, Kamenar says don't expect a resolution before the 2024 presidential election.
Now, Trump gets 30 days to file their brief, and then there will be amicus briefs by Ed Meese and others on both sides of the issue. And then it will be argued before the 11th Circuit either later this year or early next year. The bottom line, this case is not going to be decided before the upcoming election.
Meanwhile, the first hearing on presidential immunity in the Trump federal January 6th case will happen in D.C. on September 5th. Daniel Baldwin, One America News, Washington.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.